Hey, Dad, did you hear about the V8 from Dodge?
It's gone.
Yeah, there isn't one. That's what's kind of funny about it. Yeah, they're gone. What about the new Camaro?
It's what Camaro? Tell me about it.
Exactly.
Right.
Or yeah, the new Charger, the Charger,
Tesla.
Tesla Charger inline six twin turbo thing.
We are forced to do it, they say.
You guys got to stop complaining about Ford because they're now the only company that said that they're going to keep the V8 around as long as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And we are picking up a race car this weekend.
We need something to tow with.
We need something to tow it with.
Let's get after this video.
Welcome to Performance on Wheels. My name's Austin. This is my dad, Todd. Let's check out the F-150 Sleeper.
Hello everyone and welcome to Performance on Wheels. My name is Todd, my son Austin and I make all sorts of videos on cars for you to enjoy. Hit that like and subscribe button and join us on our journey.
About 2 weeks ago, we launched a video on our channel contemplating if we should buy a sleeper F-150.
I'm still contemplating.
I'm still contemplating. This was actually the truck that was in that video. We did some cool stuff to it.
It's a little different now. We'll talk about that.
But I think we need to explain exactly what the sleeper F-150 is. So from Ford directly, a customer can go to said Ford dealership and they can order a single cab short box Ford truck. Simple as can be with the 5-liter V8, nothing done to it. You can order one of these trucks up to an XLT. That is the highest trim that you can get for a single cab short box truck. But a dealership cannot order these trucks. It has to be a customer order specifically. As a dealer, they can't order a truck of this nature from Ford. It's Ford's rules. Don't know why. That's how it is. There are now a couple of dealerships, Apple Autos, which is who I actually work with and we work with directly. They came up with this idea, which was also driven from Town and Country Ford in Alabama, to basically take Alabama's doing a Roush supercharger.
Yeah.
Here we are doing a Whipple supercharger. But you can order a supercharger directly from Roush, Whipple, whatever, it's kind of up to you. And you can install the supercharger on the motor. They are specifically ordered by VIN number because they carry a manufacturer warranty with them, even when they are installed at the dealership. So you buy this truck, the truck gets delivered at the dealership installs the supercharger on it. You then buy the truck with the supercharger installed on it. At Apple Autos, it's $11,300 to order a 3-liter Whipple with a warranty. So $11,300, you get a Whippled sleeper F-150.
Is what you're saying, for under $50,000, I can have a 700 horsepower rear-wheel drive, like sub 5,000 pound vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. And there's actually two options for that. So just over $50,000. So this option here, other than the aftermarket on it, you can buy one of these that looks just like this, rear-wheel drive, $47,799, or you can order one of these right here, a 4-wheel drive. This thing launches like nothing else.
Right.
Like nothing else.
Got a little traction
for $52,799. So that's a lot of truck. That's a lot of power for the money. And basically, these dealerships are turning these trucks into ultimate sleeper trucks.
Right. And the thing that's the most intriguing now is, A, you can buy a 23, and if you're into the whole financing game, if you can find a V8 XL short box, there's a few of them out there. I looked at Auto Trader recently, and a few dealers have them on their lots.
Yeah.
But you can get a 23 with like superb financing, like 1.79 or something.
Yeah.
Like right now.
The issue is finding a 23 single cab short box V8.
Right.
Is pretty much impossible.
Yeah,
because
very few.
They had to be customer orders.
Right.
Those customers' orders had to fob out of their custom order. No dealerships have these in their inventory.
But to finish my point here, like the 23, that's like lame, as we kind of mentioned in our previous video, because that was like a genuine work truck.
Yeah.
What's cool about the 24 is not only do you have the facelift of the latest and greatest, but you also have the introduction to the tech on the outside and inside.
I don't know, a lot of people didn't realize this, but I've seen a lot of posts and forums recently in F-150 groups that I'm in. I didn't realize this, but the entire front end of this is actually a throwback to the old F-150. And if you put them like mash up, top and down, they're like identical.
Really?
It's crazy. I had no idea. I can't remember what year. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. I think it's like 88 or something. But it's like, it's almost identical. It's crazy. Yeah.
I like that. I like that design too. So guys, let's talk about what made just this basic steel wheel F-150 transition into what a sleeper truck could look like.
There is something fun about the fact that you can order one of these trucks, steel wheels, lame as can be looking. All I would do is the same lowering kit that's on this truck here, the IHC lowering kit, but actually gets like different control arms up front. We did do a traction bar in the back of this one as well, but I would just lower it with this kit. And then I would find a company and I'd take those factory steel wheels and I'd get them stretched to, I don't know, 10, 12 inches wide and just have a slammed on steelies, basic looking as can be, ultimate sleeper truck. Because like, yes, this is still kind of a sleeper, but this is now turning heads everywhere we go. The welds that we put on this, they're 22-inch welds in front, 22s in back, 285s up front, 305s in back. The stance is phenomenal, but it's quite obvious now looking at this vehicle that it's definitely not stock. It looks fast as it sits. The fitment, the stance, the wheels, it's got a killer look to it. And that's what's kind of cool about these trucks. You can take a super basic looking one. You can do whatever you want to it. You can make it look lame as can be. You can leave it stock. You can lower it. You can make it look like this. You can turn it into a track truck. You can lift it, turn it into a Baja rally thing. There is so much capability with this platform, especially because it's so basic. Like if you go buy a Raptor, you're never going to lower a Raptor. You're never going to do anything crazy to a Raptor because it already has all the stuff done to it from the factory. You buy one of these, you have yourself a basic template where you can do whatever you want and you can continue changing it. Just pull the parts out that you put in and put new parts in it. It's crazy.
Austin, you make some phenomenal points, and one thing that does intrigue me and one thing that I have decided, if we get enough love, if we get enough support on these videos showing that there's interest, that someone will actually care if we invest the money to buy one of these and kind of go through the stages of doing the build ourselves.
So what's cool?
Hang on here, young man.
Okay.
Hang on, a little father. I'm going to ground this young man if he doesn't calm down. But what would be cool, and obviously it would take a lot of work and a lot of money still, but I'm kind of game for that, is like an entire day in the spring and then again in the fall, you go from this to a lifted one and you have two setups. It would be about 10 to 11 hours of labor to change the entire suspension over from a slammed setup. And we'll show you some pictures of this in a minute because it's kind of fun to see the torsion bars, like all new front control arms, top, bottom. We got torsion bars in the back. And obviously it's dropped and slammed. But if we did the opposite in the fall time for winter, where we jack this thing up and have some, like, I don't know, 35s or whatever the appropriate size tire to put on there would be, that would be pretty darn sweet. I have come to the conclusion that I'd have to get a four-wheel drive, not only from the launch capabilities, but just the practicality of living in Minnesota.
Yeah, the fact that you can drive one of these year-round, too, and they're all aluminum, so you don't really have to worry about rust, which is really, really coool. Right. It'd be a heck of a car in winter.
It would.
With 700-something horse.
Right.
All right, so what I wanted to say is thank you to all of you right off the bat, because the fact that we haven't even have the capabilities to be looking at purchasing one of these vehicles is entirely because of you guys. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for liking, subscribing, watching our videos. Because of you guys, we have the capabilities of being in the market for something like this. And we want to bring our channel more into the motorsport side of things than we have been previously. Right. So we're planning on buying the little race car this weekend, start getting into something like that, and towing it behind one of these to some track days.
Cool. We do have another tow rig that we actually haven't introduced to the channel yet that I think we're going to do soon. We're getting way off topic here.
We are.
All right.
My bad.
Let's get way off topic for a second. Like a brand new vehicle that's been in the family, ultimate tow rig. It's not a Ford, so make sure you just end the video now. If you will never watch a video, it's not a Ford. But anyways, Austin, you talked about the weld wheels. I think it's an awesome fit, awesome setup.
Looks really good.
The Nittos look awesome, obviously, but what we also just need to comment on is they kept this truck very basic. Cryptic Customs did a great job of like keeping it basic with the modifications. So we have the stance going but we also have the Borla exhaust, which you have to have with that Coyote V8, which we'll show you the difference here in just a second. The last very subtle thing that you wouldn't notice unless you look at is the rear spoiler they put on top of the tailgate.
Now, one of the things I do want to bring up is I haven't really driven these trucks a whole lot. They're new, they're available for sale. I'll put links down to them in the description below. But I haven't really gotten to push them by any means. I don't want to either, because like I said, they're for sale. They're not going to be mine.
Right.
But I did
that
take
one might
them.
Be mine. Let's be honest.
It might be yours. That'd be really cool if it was. But I did take a stock suspension truck, actually this truck with stock suspension, and I drove it before and I drove it after, and holy cow. I mean, it entirely changed the driving dynamic of how this vehicle handled going around a corner. Like, this is miserable. This thing sucks. Yeah. It's terrible. It's a work truck.
It's a work truck. That's what it's made for.
This actually, like, it has like very little body roll. It holds the ground well. It feels like you have great feedback through the steering. This suspension setup, I mean, granted, it's kind of the cheaper route to go. It's not the crazy full-on coilovers.
It's still a very nice suspension.
It's a very nice suspension, but it's not crazy. I think it's like, what was it, $3,500 for parts, I think? Or $1,500 for parts? I don't remember. I'll put it down in the description. It's not a ton of money for how dramatic of a change that it was over stock. So I think that's pretty cool.
Austin failed to mention that my zipper's been down for a majority of this video.
Gotcha.
So let's enjoy that. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty awesome that, like, when I was in high school, my buddy had a '93 Ford Lightning. So it's been fun to see, like, what was the heyday of the sport truck. They had the 454S and the Lightning, and those were like the two competitors.
Can we just say how this is actually the real new Lightning?
Right. So this is like the real new Lightning. Ford isn't bringing it from the factory, but they're still honoring the warranty. So that's pretty awesome that they're doing that. And this is like way more of a truck. We're talking about a truck that can take on supercars from a roll or even down the quarter-mile drag strip, which that's pretty gnarly.
Even without the supercharger on it, these things are like pretty dang quick, surprisingly.
And here's the other side of things. Here's where technology has advanced, and here's how Ford is still able to take on putting a V8 in.
Yeah.
Is my buddy's F-150 from like 1993, right? I'm not that old, so let's not get carried away. It was a 93 model year. But we got like 10 or 11 miles to the gallon, like zipping around in that thing. These, on a road trip, you're still going to get, even with that Whipple supercharger on it, you're still going to get like low 20s miles per gallon.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the miles per gallon is going to suck on these with the Whipple on it. You got to realize that the Whipple doesn't even like create any boost or anything until you're somewhat into the rev range. Like, yes, it's instant torque, but when it's down low, just cruising, the Whipple's not doing anything to your gas mileage. You're getting the same thing as stock.
But when you do put your foot into it, let's be honest, those 10 mile per gallons are going to be very realistic in a hurry.
Very realistic in a hurry.
Because we didn't show it in our last video, Austin, I think it's important that we just really quick highlight the inside. And the things that we need to highlight in here that's huge for a 24 XL is the fact that you get the 12.3-inch infotainment screen, but you also get the fully digital like cluster right in front of you.
The digital cluster you used to not even get until you got the Lariat on the old models. And now you get an XL.
So now you're in this basic work truck, and even driving this one, it feels like you're in something more luxurious
and you can,
something fancy.
I mean, throw a nice sound system in it. There's, you know, $1,200, $1,500. Throw some nice leather seats in it. There's $2,000.
Right.
And heck, throw a leather dash in it. Throw the center console in it from a like the capabilities are endless, and these trucks are so easy to work on.
Austin hit on it earlier already. Just the customization, the personalization aspect to it. Whether it's on the outside or inside, you can really take these to wherever you want. If you want to keep it completely basic, or if you want to keep it like subtle, but you can go completely wild with custom interior.
It is a blank canvas. Paint however you want on it.
Love it. We didn't mention it earlier, so just to be clear, the slightly customized waiting for Whipple supercharger is available right now, like Austin mentioned, for just a few clicks over $58,000. That includes the 3-year warranty from Whipple. That includes the 700 plus horsepower. That includes the Borla exhaust, the weld wheels, the spoiler. This could be yours for just over $58,000.
And just to put that into perspective, looking for a 23 that has a blower on it, that has, you know, that done to it basically, I can't find one for under like 65 grand.
Yep.
Like seriously, I've been looking hard for one, thinking I could get one cheaper than a new one, and you can't. They're literally more money used than they are new. So I'm very curious to see how the market turns on these trucks, because the Town and Country Ford over in Alabama, when we previously called them, they said they had over 200 of these sleepers on order.
It's pretty wild.
Here at Appalatos, we have, I think, like mid-20s on order. So that is quite a few of these trucks hitting the market, but at the same time, that's still very low production for a lot of these trucks. So I guess time will tell when it comes to the market. But I think we just both wanted to get another feeler video out there. This is a lot of money for us here on the channel. We're not a massive channel, so this is a good chunk of change. This is baby steps. We wanted to get another feeler video out on what your guys' thoughts were on us purchasing one of these. Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you soon.